1% of dudes rapping, they ain't nice as me. 98% ain't live the same type of life as me. The judge gave me life and then they sent me where the life is be. That level 4 with depth and vice, the type of stuff they like to see. Two choices, fight or flee. I refuse to die a chump. I never been a mark, but damn, it's scary when that riot jump. I seen dudes cry, get pumped, and some sexually brutalized. Knew a dude who lost his life and he was only doing 5-year-long racial fights when homie all you do is ride. Lonely days and nights up in a hole causing suicide. From the moment you arrive, you see the Mexican mafia, AB skinheads with big giant swastikas, pro-black philosophers, the BGF, the Kumi, and Muslims who will murk you from the nation to the Sunni. That MS was loony, quick to ride up on they rival. Even Christians went to church, hide knives up in a Bible. Political and tribal, the Crips and Damus, the Long Beach, the Hubs and the Dubs and the Grooves, the IE, the Bakersfield, the Dago Pyrus, the hustlers quick to roll, the gangsters gon' move. Whatever click you choose, you better stick.
Say, what's cracking, YouTube? It's your boy 16 to Life, and I'm back like I'm on a parole violation. Yard down. Now, for those of y'all new to my page, in 1994, I got arrested. I was eventually sentenced to 16 years plus life, and I served 24 years straight in the California prison system. During those times, I accumulated some good stories, and I'm going to share one with y'all today. If you like the video, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe. Most importantly, hit that notification bell. That way, anytime I drop a story, you will be notified ASAP, and you can hop on it whenever you're ready. Also, if you didn't know, I be rapping. The flow is none like Curtis Blow. Yeah, that's me on the intro. The name of that song is called Still Steppin'. It's not released yet. Hopefully it'll be out within a month. But for the meantime, if you want to check out some more of my music, go to my YouTube playlist, scroll down to gas stations, and you will find my music there. Now, let's hop up into this story. So yeah, y'all see the title, man. This is about one of the more weirder cellies that I had, man. So initially, I was at this prison by the name of North Kern. I was getting transferred back to a prison by the name of CMC East. So when you get to CMC East, the protocol is they put you in what's known as a reception cell. And you stay in the reception cell about 24 hours until you get cleared and released for general population. Then after that, maybe 3 or 4 days, give or take, they'll move you in a cell with someone else. Now, the cell at CMC East are extremely small, man. So anybody that's done any considerable amount of time anywhere, though, they know the importance of being in a cell with somebody you compatible with. A dude may seem cool on the yard, man, but you get up in the cell with him and he's, you know, he's unrealistic, unwilling to compromise. He maybe want his TV real loud, like to play his radio loud without headphones, because we got headphones that you could purchase, you know, but he wants to inflict or push his program on you. Or maybe he's one of those dudes where he ain't got no mail in 3-4 days. He go to acting weird and funny or whatever. So for those reasons and many more, man, it's always important you have a celly that you compatible with, especially when you in a small cell like CMC, which the cells there are no bigger than probably a gas station bathroom. So when I get released for the regular general population, one of the first things on my mind is to find and talk to some people who may know somebody who don't have a celly. So I run across this dude by the name of English, man. Me and English had been in 3 or 4 different penitentiaries together. English was a good Richard Pryor looking motherfucker, you know. He was probably about 5'9", about 165 years old. I mean, 165 pounds, and probably about 60, 64, somewhere up in there, you know, in his early 60s, man. So anyway, he told me about this dude he knew named PJ that was kind of cool, and he didn't, you know, he didn't have a celly or whatever. So he introduced me to the dude, man. Long story short, we chop it up. He seemed all right. So we put in the necessary paperwork, and 3 or 4 days later, I get moved up in there. Now, so like I said, when I'm moving up in there, like I told you guys earlier, the cells are extremely small, man. So the best way for me to describe the cell, and I'm going to try to have a picture up for y'all too, man. When you walk into the cell, man, you might be able to take maybe about 7 steps before you're at the back of the cell at the toilet. But immediately to the left, it had this long, like, cabinet coming out of, coming out of the wall, and it came down to about 3.5 feet. Up under that, they had this box springs, these old metal box springs that you would lay your mattress on. To the left of that, they had this small table that was connected to the wall. And that table was for the purpose of the person on that bed could put his TV, some of his cosmetic items and stuff like that, you know. Now, right to the right behind that bed, they had another desk that was attached to the wall with a chair. And the desk behind the bed was where if I had a TV, that's where my TV would go. I'd put my stuff like that. Then the cell was so small, they had a window. They had a window like right above the toilet, a big old window. You could open the window and we would set the chair up there, attach the hook, the back of the chair to the window. And then right next behind the toilet, maybe about a half a foot was the wall. And that was it. You know, the cell was extremely small, man. And then also these cells were single man cells. But once the prison got crowded, they converted them into 2-man cells. Now, this particular cell, the picture that I'm showing you didn't have it. But what they did is they connected these metal chains by these bolts. They put them on the wall, maybe about 6 feet apart. Then, of course, at the bottom of them, they screwed them in and connected them in. And it was like a metal 6 feet long slab. And so that metal 6 feet long slab at the end on the left and right, it had like 2-inch slots cut up out of the slab part. And so it was connected to the wall. You put the chains in those slots. And then in order for you to let the bed down, of course, you'd release the right side chain and you kind of have to hold it because that thing was heavy. Then you go down to the left side, let that release the chain out of that little slot. Then the bed would lie down. Once the bed lied down, you literally was like maybe a foot, half a foot from that other bed. So, you know, you're right there, you know. So sometimes, even though you wasn't supposed to, certain guards may allow you to connect a string that ran from one end of the cell to the other at the top some way. And then you could put a sheet over that to have you a little bit of privacy. So anyway, like I said, once I move in the cell with this dude, man, I see that he don't have too much of nothing. Matter of fact, he don't have nothing. He ain't got a TV. He don't got a personal radio. You know, he don't got cosmetics. He don't got soap, lotion, toothpaste, none of that stuff, deodorant, you know. But sometimes it's like that, man. Everybody ain't fortunate enough to have people looking out for him. And so, you know, normally when you move in a cell with someone, you talk a little bit. You know, I go to setting up my TV and my property and stuff, and you talk a little bit, find out a little bit about each other or whatever. So he told me he was 32 years old and he was from I believe out of the Pasadena area. Now, initially when I talked to him on the yard, he said he didn't gangbang. But as I was up in the cell with him later on, he claimed he was a blood or whatever. He'd be on the workout pal over there where they worked out trying to fit in. But that dude, he wasn't no blood. So anyway, we're in there talking, man. And, you know, in the course of talking, I asked him, do he like sports or whatever? He told me that he was Michael Jordan's biggest fan, that he knew every single thing about Michael Jordan. And, you know, of course, he liked to play chess. So we started playing a little chess up in there. The dude couldn't play chess a lick, man, you know, and so I beat him 3 or 4 games, man. He always wanted to, come on, let's play one more. I almost had you. You see that? I almost had you right there. I almost had you. Now, this dude would be nowhere near close to beat me, man. So he was a little delusional in that aspect, too. So after I bop him on the chessboard a few games, because I'm not the type that's going to beat you over and over and over if it's not competitive. And actually, sometimes I would take my queen off the board and still beat him in order to make the games competitive. So after I bust him up on the chessboard a few games, now he wants me to ask him, come on, ask me any question about Michael Jordan. Ask me any question. I know all his stats. So I'd ask him a few questions just to humor him, and he'd throw some numbers out there. And I had no idea if the dude was accurate or not or whatever. So I told him, man, hey, I said, hey, man, you know what? You know, it's getting a little late. I got to go to sleep or whatever. So I let the little bed down and I turned towards the wall to go to sleep. So he hopped in the bed or whatever. So I'm in the bed maybe about 2 or 3 minutes, and I hear those bed springs squeaking. So I'm thinking maybe the dude is over there. He turned over, he getting comfortable or whatever. So maybe about 2 or 3 minutes later, I hear him again, and this time they're continuous. So I say to myself, man, I said, hell no, man. I said, I know this dude ain't over there caught up in a moment of autoeroticism, you know what I'm saying, jacking this Johnson, having a moment of self-gratifying pleasure. I said, man, I'm supposed to have to whoop this dude's ass. So, you know, now I turn over, they still squeaking. I said, yeah, man, I know this dude ain't over there pleasing himself, you know, because that's extremely disrespectful to be in a cell with another man, you know, doing that. Now, how that stuff works is if that's something you have to do, you know, you wait till your celly going to the yard or whatever. So when I turn over, now I see some shaking going on. I said, oh, hell yeah, man, I'll just have to test this dude's squabble. So when I sit up, I notice now the shaking is coming from up here somewhere. So he You know, so I'm thinking, okay, what the hell type of, you know, going to sleep ritual this dude got? You know, I didn't have Celly sometimes who pat their leg when they going to sleep. So it's whatever. As long as this dude ain't over there, you know what I'm saying, jacking his Johnson, then it's all good. So I turn, you know, once I'm satisfied he ain't doing what I thought he was, I turn back toward the, you know, the wall and go to sleep. So the next morning when they release us to yard, I see my partner English, who had hooked me up with the dude. I said, yeah, man, I thought I was going to have to whoop your boy's ass up in there last night. The dude up in there shaking like a research monkey or something. And so just so happened, the dude is like maybe 4 or 5 feet away from us, standing in this area known as the alley. So now I notice the dude got his hand up on his shirt and he's still shaking. And English go to laughing like, yeah, man, the dude be shaking and stuff. I said, well, damn, man, you know, you could have said something. I didn't know what that dude had going on up in there, you know. And so I guess in order to, and, you know, dudes that started calling him itchy and scratchy, I guess by him being teased or whatever, and in order to try to minimize the shaking, he had made a habit of putting his hand on his t-shirt or whatever, you know. So as soon as I get back to CMC, man, CMC had a lovely hustle, man, you know, and they had, CMC was unique in the fact that it had ducats. I think only like 2 or 3 prisons in California got ducats. And what ducats are, you can go and purchase these when we shop once a month from the main canteen. And then the purpose of the ducats, on each yard, there's what's known as a mini canteen or a snack bar. And they sold soda, chips, ice cream, candy, cookies, stuff like that. And so it was like a little, almost like a cardboard, but it was like Monopoly money. And each individual square was 5 cents. So if you wanted something that was 50 cents or 75 cents, you'd hand it to the dude working in there. He had this little tool where he'd clip, you know, however much off you owed him and hand you back the remaining part for your change and stuff. And so what was so cool about that is other prisons, you know, for you know, like for money and stuff, you know, currency, we use, you know, like, you know, hygiene and food, you know, deodorant, soap, stuff like that. But here, but they had those ducats. It was, you know, it was cool for hustling, man. And so sometimes you'd have dudes running the store. And so they might go to the main canteen, buy a whole bunch of stuff, you know, $150 worth of stuff or whatever. And then they go to the yard and just mark the prices up. So if they paid like $1.50 for some squeezed cheese, they'd go to the yard and sell it for $2. If a soap was 75 cents, they might go to the yard and sell it for $1.25 or whatever. And that's how they made their money. And so like I say, I got over there, I got right back into slinging that tobacco. Tobacco is really like liquid gold in prison, man. And cigarettes was going for $3 a cigarette. So anyway, I'm doing well, man. My Celly don't have nothing. So I go out there, I buy him a lot of stuff, man. You know, some soap, some toothpaste, some hygiene, you know, some grease for his hair. And then I'm constantly running back and forth to that mini canteen. You know, I used to love that snack bar. And each night when we had to lock up for good, the line would get real long. You know, everybody trying to get their last little zooms and wham. So I'd get me a couple sodas, some chips and this and that. I had found out he had liked them chips. So I got him like 3 bags of chips, took him some sodas and stuff up in there. So when we playing chess and we chilling. So, you know, I gave him like 5 or 10 ducats too now, you know, so now we up in there playing chess. And now I'm really noticing, man, this dude got the shakes, man. This dude is shaking uncontrollably and shit. Sometimes, man, and he used to always grab his nose. He'd grab his nose or grab his t-shirt, man. And this dude would be in there shaking like he was scared or something, man. This dude would be shaking sometimes like he would be shaking uncontrollably, man. Like he was a thick, voluptuous, apple bottom built amputee in a prison full of booty bandits or something, man. I mean, the dude would, and then sometimes, you know, he'd grab his shirt and he'd be shaking, especially a full day of shaking, man. He'd be done stretched his collar damn near to the point his nipples was exposed. Like he was one of them chicks trying to flash me on one of them white girls going wild or something. You know, his damn near, you know, he'd have the collar of his shirt damn near to his belly button. So every 3-4 days, he'd have to go to the laundry and get some more t-shirts and stuff, man. So, now the day after I bought the dude the chips, we go to the yard. I happen to look up and see him in the corner playing some chess. You know, I'm playing basketball or whatever, doing whatever I'm doing. So, I go throughout my day doing whatever I do. So that night when we come in, you know, to lock it up, I run to the mini canteen, get me, you know, some root beer and whatever I'm bringing in or whatever. So I come up in there, we sit down to play chess. I happen to look on his shelf, that little area where his TV would go if he had one. I noticed all the chips I bought him is gone. The deodorant, the soap, the lotion, everything I bought him is gone. So I'm like, damn, you know, I'm wondering what the hell this dude done. You know, I'm lightweight mad, but hey, when you give somebody something, you give it to them and they do whatever they do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm over there. I'm eating my chips. I'm playing chess. I'm enjoying myself. So I see him looking at me. He every now and then he'll cut his eye and glance at my chip bowl. I'm eating my chips. I refill on him and all this and that. Then suddenly he said, "Hey man, chill, give me some chips." I said, "What?" I couldn't hear what he mumbled it like he was almost ashamed to ask me. He said, give me some chips, chill." I said, "Give you some chips?" I said, "What happened to all the bags of chips I bought you?" So he goes on to explain that he was over there gambling and somebody then whooped his head. He lost all his, items, man. Now they don't care, how mentally astute you is or ain't up in prison, man. You have dudes up in there that's predatory, man, and they prey on the dudes, whether they lame, ignorant, or whatever, man. And you got 1,001 dudes who, if you willing to, go over there and lose your money, they gonna take it, man. And the dude that lost all his money. So I said, "Hey, listen, I gave you all that stuff, man, because you didn't have nothing for you to enjoy yourself, man. If you're going to let somebody whoop you out of all that stuff, that's on you. I ain't got nothing for you. I continued eating on his ass, you know what I'm saying?" So he like, "Oh, man, come on, chill. Don't be like that, man. Give me some chips." I told him, "Man, I'm serious. I ain't got nothing for you, man." And so, I whooped him and stuff. Didn't give him no chips. And then, of course, later on, he wanted me to ask him about Michael Jordan. So I humored him, asked him a few, how many steals and this and that. And then, I'm going to bed, but he constantly want me to ask me one more question. I'm Jordan's biggest fan. I said, "Hey, man, we can't do this all the time, man." I asked him a couple more questions and I'm gone. The dude just didn't know how to quit. It was like he was compulsive, man. He wanted to continue to play chess. He wanted me to continue to ask him these questions about Michael Jordan. So one day I come up in there, man, the whole cell smelled like shit. So I'm thinking like, damn, okay, this dude must have just finished using the bathroom because, the cells is extremely small. But maybe about 5 minutes later, the cell is still stinking. So I asked him, I said, "Damn, PJ, did you flush that toilet?" Yeah, I'm sure I flushed it. I flushed it. I know I did. So I said, "Okay, well, damn, man, it's stinking here. You don't smell that?" Yeah, but, maybe because I just used the bathroom. So I stay up in there another, few minutes, and the smell level is still not lowering. So I told him, "Go over there and open one of them damn windows or something, man." So he opened up a window. It's still strong up in there. It's still, the smell up in there is still strong as ever, man. So I said, "Man, what the hell is going on?" So I get up, I go walk over there. I go look in the toilet to see if he flushed it. And I'm looking around. I see on the side of the toilet, man, the dude didn't shit at all. He got shit all running down the side of the toilet. Now y'all see how that toilet is facing on those pictures. But for whatever reason, this weirdo, he loved to turn sideways and shit on the toilet sideways or something. So I said, "Man, look at you. You got shit all down here on the toilet. Get this shit up, man." So luckily we had some disinfectant and stuff up in there. So he goes over there with some gloves. He go over there and clean the stuff all up, man. So every day I'd be clowning him, man, when I come in. I say, "Man, are you shitting straight today, man? You making sure you didn't shit all over the toilet and stuff? Got the cell stinking?" And so after me doing this 3 or 4 days, he said, "Come on now, chill. You're never gonna let me live that down, are you? You're never gonna let me live that down." I said, "No, hell no, man. Not when you got the cell stinking and smelling all like shit and whatever." So, I'm clowning and laughing with him up in there and stuff. And then so I come in there one day, I bust him up on the chessboard. We go through our normal routine, and he told me now he want me. "Oh no, okay, ask me some facts about Jordan." Now, okay, damn, man, I think Jordan is the best player ever too, man. But damn, man, I can't keep asking you these questions every night about no damn Michael Jordan and stuff. So I tell him, "Man, I don't, I said, "Man, I ain't got no questions for you tonight." "Oh, come on now, I'm Jordan's biggest fan. Come on now, you can't stop me. You can't stop me." I said, "Man, I don't know nothing else to ask you, And so he's steady harassing me and pestering me to ask him these questions. "Come on, chill, anything you want. I'm his biggest fan. I know every single thing." I said, "So, man, you know every single damn thing about Jordan?" Yep. I said, "Everything?" He said, "Yeah, I know everything. Ask me a question." I said, "Well, damn, how big is his dick then, motherfucker?" He said, "What?" I said, "How big is his dick, motherfucker? Since you said you know everything about him, how big is his dick?" He said, "Come on, chill. Why would you ask me that? My God, why would you ask me a question like that?" I said, "Motherfucker, because you keep pestering me. I told you to leave me the hell alone." And so also the dude who had introduced me to him, English would be trying to help him out too. Like I told you, they'd be out there selling everything in that alley, man. They'd be hustling, selling this, selling that. I've seen dudes go get their whole entire package. We can get every 3 months, we can get a quarterly package ordered from a vendor. We can order food, tennis shoes, t-shirts, all types of stuff, CD players, Some dudes would go get their package and don't even take it to the sale. They'd stop right there in that alley and sell it all, sell it all. And so English sometimes see people selling stuff in the alley, you know, trying to get some quick bread. He might, you know, he might buy some headphones for $10, but they really $30, $40 worth. So he'd give the headphones to PJ and say, listen, man, all I want you to do is bring me my money back, man. Here, I paid $10. You can sell these for whatever, and then you keep the rest. So PJ would do that sometime, but then it got to the point where he wouldn't, you know, and when he would sell, you know, sell and give E his portion, he would keep his portion and go gamble and lose it, man. So this dude was content with not having no soap. You know, this dude would be using state soap in there. I have to make him get in the shower and all this old type of stuff, man. And so, you know, after a while, this dude would stop even bringing back English when he was supposed to bring back English. So one day, English get tired of that mess, man. We up in the cell, English slide down there. He come in the cell and close the door. He say, chill, I'm about to whoop your Celly's ass, man. This dude been owing me money for X amount of days. I'm tired of that stuff. So I hopped up on the toilet. I'm ready to see the show. So English come toward him and said, man, you where my money at? I told you to have my money. English throw a punch at him, but really English just messing with him, trying to scare him and stuff. The dude turned his back. English came up and grabbed me, like grabbed him by the shirt, like, where my money? You think I'm playing, man? Where my money, man? And my Celly, come on now, English, hold on now, stop now, English. We've got history. English, now you don't have to do this, English. English, we've got history. We've got history. English grabbed him, you know, by the shirt once again, shook him like, man, I ain't playing with you, man. You better have my damn money, man. I'm giving you till 3 o'clock, man. I'm just to whoop your ass, you know. Okay, okay, English. Now stop that, English. Now come on, now I'll have it. I'll have it. So when English let him go, dude opened the door and got up out of there, man. So long story short, dude ended up going to the program office, man. I guess he told the police he owed somebody was gonna beat him up or whatever, and he couldn't be there, man. So maybe about 3 or 4 hours later, they called me over the loudspeaker, told me to report to the program office. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know at this time dude been rolled up or whatever. So when I get up in there, you know, they tell me to come in there and sit down, have a seat. You know, they asked me about my Celly. Matter of fact, his name popped into my mind. His name was either Alexander Carter, or Carter Alexander. You know, they asked me, was that my Celly or whatever. I said, yeah, why? What's going on, man? They said, well, he said somebody's harassing him and he got to go. They had me, you know, showing my hands or whatever. I said, man, that ain't got nothing to do with me. You know, me and him, we ain't at odds or nothing like that, man. So, you know, they go to talking and asking me questions and this and that. And I'm just looking at him. And they tell me that he's 22 years old. You know, so I'm thinking to myself, damn, man, this dude done told me he was 32 years old. So later on, I'm assuming that I guess the dude figured that if he told people he was older, man, he'd have less problems or whatever. You know, I don't know what the hell was going on, man. So, you know, after they was after they was satisfied their concerns that I didn't do nothing to him or we wasn't in there fighting, they let me get up out of there, man. And I never seen the dude again. But like I say, the dude say, man, he Michael Jordan's biggest fan. So in the event you happen to run across him, ask him a question about Michael Jordan. Anyway, man, you already know what it is. It's your boy 16 to life. Resume normal program. Them crackers let me out the gate, now the pressure's on. We about to get this shit straight like a pressing cone. The wrong cat to get aggressive on. I bring the bitch up out of niggas while you think they got them dresses on. My reach long and that's the best type. To have some dirty white boys come and smoke you like a meth pipe. And leave your chest bright red like a fire truck. Kicking your mom's door at night, nigga, and tie her up. I'm wild as fuck and I'm respected by the new youth. I put this pistol in their ear like a Bluetooth. I blow their brains on their new coupe. And have red everywhere just like a function full of soup whoops. Tell your troops I deal with beef like a butcher. My 4-5 pump more guys than Ashton Kutcher. Line pusher, quick to bury your clown. Nigga, I stayed in the park like the merry-go-round. Get it?
The game greasy, bitch, the game need me. Oh, you niggas don't know my name. The game greasy, bitch, the game need me. I'm out here doing my thing. The game greasy, bitch, the game need me. I swerve in 9 on lane. The game greasy, bitch, the game need me.